Hi, this is Karin from the Huntley Library, and today we are doing a 12 days of crafting. We're making paper snowflakes. So we're going to assemble some supplies and I'll show you what you need to do. Let's get started. So here are our supplies. You're going to need some kind of paper cut into a square, and you're going to need 6 pieces of that to form each part of the snowflake. So for each of these arms of your snowflake, you're going to need a square piece of paper. You're going to need some way to attach them to each other. I have double stick tape. You can also use regular Scotch tape or a stapler. If you're making a larger one, I recommend using staples to hold it together. That'll make the connections more secure. You're going to need some scissors if your paper isn't square, and also to cut slits in the paper. And if you're going to hang this up from the ceiling or hang it in some way, you're going to need a piece of string. I have a piece of embroidery floss. String will also work, or twine, or if you have an ornament hook, like a little metal wire ornament hook, you can use one of those too. Those are all of our supplies. I have this origami paper. It's 6 inches by 6 inches square sheets of origami paper that I was using for another project, so I'm going to use some sheets of this to make my snowflake. You can use any other kind of paper though. I recommend something that's kind of pliable, just because it'll be easier to bend it. I did this one with some notebook paper to make the arm of the snowflake. And I'm going to be using this paper right here for our snowflake. So the first step, once you've got your paper into a square, and if you have rectangular paper, it's easy to make it into a square. You would just fold it until, in this case you're going to get a triangle, and there's not going to be any paper showing, but you would fold it and then there would be a little bit left over from the rectangle, and then just chop that part off. Since we have a square already, we don't have to worry about that. So the first thing you're going to do is fold it into a triangle like this. Then you're going to fold it again into another triangle. This table is a little bit slippery. And now we're going to cut 3 lines across. So you want to have this in a certain orientation so that you have the lines in the right place. So this is where my fold is. This is the fold side. This is the long side of the triangle. So we're going to cut our lines in this direction, following this long side of the triangle and cutting from the fold. So get your scissors ready. And you want these lines kind of evenly spaced. So here we go. And don't cut all the way across. You do want to have a little bit of room on this side. You have a very truncated snowflake otherwise. So these are all about the same size. Maybe 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and once you have that done, you're going to unfold your paper. And if you have paper that's got a pattern on both sides, that'll look really nice. Otherwise, it's going to end up looking like this. And you'll have some sides where you can see the pattern and some that are the other side of the paper, which is just plain white in this case. And now you're going to alternate folding these sides back and taping them. So I like to fold away from this folded line here to get a little bit more 3D relief here. And so the first fold and taping that I'm going to make is right in the center here, like so. So this piece will go like that. And I found that using the double stick tape works really well for this. You don't need a big piece, just a little piece. And then fold and tape as you go. So I put it right on top of this piece, and then I fold the other piece over and stick it to it. With the double stick tape, you want to cover as much of that tape as possible, otherwise it's going to stick to other things or collect dust. And then we're going to do that for the next one. What you do is flip it over so that you're always folding the opposite way. So I'm going to stick the tape on top of this piece here and then fold the other side over and just stick it right on top. Flip and stick is our motto here. Sticking. Your snowflake is going to have 6 of these pieces, or arms. I'm calling them arms. So we have finished one arm. And you can make these as small or as large as you want. It's good to have them all be the same size though, so that you get more of a star shape. But you can experiment with different sizes if you want to. And I always do 6 of them, but you could also make however many arms you want to and see how many you can get in there. Maybe 5 works better, maybe 8. Try it out. So we're going to pause for a moment while I make 5 more of these and while you make 5 more of them. Okay, I've got 6 pieces now to stick together. These are all of the arms of my snowflake, and they are going to get assembled something like this. So you can see the snowflake shape taking form there. I'm going to use the double stick tape again for this part, and just start sticking them together like so, right at the base. If you're making kind of a larger one like this, you may need to add tape to some other places just to get it all coming together and not flopping around. I really like this tape though for this project. Using regular tape is not as easy just because it's only got the one sticky side. Okay, so there we have a completed, somewhat floppy snowflake. And if it is a little bit too floppy for your taste, you can also tape these middle sections together too, to keep it from moving around as much. So we'll do a few of those and see how that works. Again, the double stick tape makes this really easy. We've been making these at the library periodically over the years, and using them as decorations or as crafts for kids and teens and adults. And we made huge ones one year and hung them from the ceiling in the library, which was pretty dramatic because we had those really high ceilings in the main library. Those turned out really great. And after that, we had tons of people asking us how we make these. Okay, so that's a little bit more secure. Once you have finished putting your snowflake together and assembling it, you're going to need your string or your twine or whatever you're using to hang it. You could also probably just rest nicely on a tree branch if you have a holiday tree. I'm just going to make a loop here and tie it on in the end. And then loop this through the top. Like so. And then slip this end through that loop to tighten it. And then I've got a nice little slip knot here that I can use. and hang my snowflake up. See that? Congratulations, you've just made a snowflake. And like I said, you can make all kinds of different colors and sizes of these. The one that I made earlier is about half this size. And they all look really pretty.
Thanks for joining me today to make snowflakes. Mine's going home to be hung up somewhere, somehow, with this string. For more of our 12 days of crafting, please check out our website, www.huntleylibrary.org. We also have lots of other fun things going on. Thanks.